if you're new, never sold anything before, just give away the farm at first and provide value. And people, if you provide enough value, will just want to buy from you after. They'll tell their friend, they'll tell their friend. And before you know it, you have a good little foundation, a client base. So I think lead with value. Don't try to have every conversation or relationship you try to build be transactional. Just get to know people, be a good person, and solve people's problems.
Michael Gerardi, man. I mean, you are the man, next generation. Is that kind of like, how'd you come up with the name Next Generation? What was did you have a parent involved in the business or anything, or it was just Next Generation?
Next gen, man. We're Gen Z, so we gotta step it up with social media. That was my whole thing. And you know my story a little bit, so everything I
Mhm.
do is social media. So I thought that went hand in hand.
And so, at what point was it for you where you said, man, I want to go into coaching, I want to go build something, I want to help people get to that next level?
So I started off with fitness coaching, and the fitness coaching took me, 2.5 years, and then eventually I said, "Hey, I'm doing pretty well in business, and I think there's more upside to getting financially where I want to be." And so I transitioned into helping fitness coaches build their business. Charge a lot more, still helping people, and so I have the best of both worlds at this point.
And were you always like involved in fitness and working out? And is that kind of been a part of your whole life?
Yeah. So like every kid, I thought I was going to play in the MLB, and I was working out for that. Got an injury, went through physical therapy for a year and a half, and I wanted to be a physical therapist for my whole life. So I was always into working out and fitness. And as I'm going through physical therapy school, long story short, I decided it's not the route for me. I think entrepreneurship is the route.
And what do you like, most about being an entrepreneur? What is it?
Freedom. You can do what you want. You don't answer to anybody, and you can kind of set your target. Do you want to make $1 million business? Are you happy at 100K a year? Do you want $1 billion business? It's kind of in your hands.
And were you always that kid trying to start new businesses, motivated? You always wanted to make more money. I mean, was that you?
Yeah, I was the kid with the lemonade stand, the Kool-Aid stand, selling cookies outside. Had wrestlers. I was hustling my friends for changing their wrestlers, selling baseball cards on eBay. So I was always doing the thing, selling sneakers. And so I think it's always been in me.
Yeah, I think me and you will probably get along really, really well because I think everything you've just described is me. So including the part with the baseball. All right. I was going to college and I hurt my knee in baseball. And I mean, I don't think I was ever going to go MLB, but I was playing for college and I hurt myself pretty bad. And the sad thing about it is I actually hurt it in basketball officiating
Mm.
class. So
Oh,
that was like the worst. We were just
yeah.
I just a layup, man. Went and crunched it, and my baseball career was over. And so, looking back, I mean, was it hard to start your own business? I mean, what challenges did you have kind of in that process?
So I started my business with no motivation to make money. So this is just the way I thought. So started my Instagram one day. I was like, hey, I'm just going to post free content. I'm going to build a brand for when I'm ready to graduate college. I'll have my own physical therapy clinic, and I'll already be the guy after posting for free for the last 4 years after I graduate. So, giving value without actually realizing what I'm doing. I was just trying to build a brand. So that way, when I was ready to start selling, quote unquote, then people would just kind of flock to me. And so expedited a little bit. People started asking me, can I buy a plant? Can I do this? And so I said, hey, might as well start now if people are wanting to buy now. And so I
And
don't
and
think, to answer your question, a challenge. I just did it for fun. I don't think it was a challenge getting started. I think the challenge is now where I'm at in business now is like building a team, being a leader, stepping into a CEO role. Those are like the hard things.
and what's been that challenge now in just attracting the clients? I mean, because you have a pretty good social media following. Has that been a challenge at all? I mean, continually posting all the time and working your brand, working your social media? I mean, what's the good and bad of all that?
Good side is I'd much rather be posting than laying bricks outside doing construction in 90 degrees. So it's not like a challenge in that sense. The challenge is it, and I caution to say challenge. I say it's almost like a game with yourself, is that, yeah, the next goal is 1 million a month, but it's the pursuit of that makes it fun. So, I love doing what I do every day. So I don't say that it's necessarily a challenge. Everyone can always use more leads. The more, the merrier. But at some certain point, you have to think bigger. And why are you doing this? The people you're helping, your future family that you're going to be providing for, all that kind of stuff is what kind of keeps me going. And I just enjoy it day to day.
And the advice that you would give like a new entrepreneur that's kind of just starting out, just trying to get his thing going, trying to build something, maybe even some advice about social media, what could you offer?
Yeah, if you're new, never sold anything before, just give away the farm at first and provide value. And people, if you provide enough value, will just want to buy from you after. They'll tell their friend, they'll tell their friend, and before you know it, you have a good little foundation, a client base. So I think lead with value. Don't try to have every conversation or relationship you try to build be transactional. Just get to know people, be a good person, and solve people's problems.
And where'd you learn that from, man? Because a lot of people don't think like that. So did you learn it from somebody?
You've people say it right over and over again. So like I listen to podcasts like this one, and I do a lot of my own research, but entrepreneurship, you continuously grow. So you're never done growing. I'm sure you can relate. And in the beginning, I just saw everyone as like a dollar sign because you're making the money, it's fun, it's all this, all that, but it didn't kind of resonate with me and I didn't get fulfillment. At a certain point, you make enough money where it's like, okay, anything else now is just excess. And it's more so about the value that you bring to people. And I found that people resonate with me more when I'm more of a personable person and don't just see them as a value, a dollar sign.
And so just the relationship value, I mean, kind of that whole how to win friends and influence people. I'm sure you've read that book. I mean, it sounds like the approach. And then the Gary V jab, jab, right hook, it's kind of these core principles that we're starting to learn, especially like on social media. Social media is new for a lot of people. They haven't been doing it very long. And so, I think that a lot of people, they're getting it wrong because they're just, screenshotting somebody else's quote and then they're putting it on their page. And then they're just doing that again and again and again. And they don't realize that they have value. People have value. The people that are watching right now, like, stuff that other people don't know. And they need to start to really dissect what it is that they really love and are good at and want to teach. And they just need to teach it. And over and over and over again, give the information away. Because ultimately what happened, I think, to you, Michael, is that you became the expert. That's why people follow you. That's why people want to do business with you, is because they perceive you as being the expert. Now, there's a lot of people that know what you know, and there's a lot of people that know exactly what you know. But you're the only one that's giving away that information for free. And ultimately, when they do want to execute the play, most people want a coach to help them like run through that play. I mean, I do financial services. So people watch me and they go, oh, that's great. He makes a lot of money and he's got a great business and passive income, blah, blah, blah. And then they go, but how do I do it? Well, I've been teaching you how to do it every single day for the last, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. But they go, I need somebody to hold my hand. Am I on to something here? Do you kind of get what I'm saying here?
Yeah, man. Especially in the fitness realm of things, right? Like if you wanted to be jacked within the next 60, 90 days, 6 months, you have all the information that you need on YouTube for free, and it's not going to cost you a penny. But with people, but people are still overweight, still unhappy in their body. Half the population is obese. So what is the disconnect there? And like you said, it's the execution, and I use the word implementation. Same thing. How can I implement this into my lifestyle with 3 kids, working 2 jobs, and having to walk a dog every day? So it's one thing to know that you need to eat less calories and move more, but it's another thing on how can you do it while with your busy lifestyle, because everyone's different in their own unique way.
If you like this video and you want to watch another one, click right here.